Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. I hope everyone is doing very well right now. And this is another installment of the Draw This in Your Style series. This is part 2. This is gonna be probably the last one that I want to do for a while. I probably will do more in the future. Because I most likely will, because I really love this challenge a lot. So I will definitely try to do it again eventually, but for now, it probably won't be a while until I do another one. But I might make my own too, and then other people can do one. So I should actually do that also, but that'll be in the future. Another thing I also want to say before we get any further into this video is I am currently sick, so I apologize if I sound a little weird, but I have no other chance to do this, so you're just gonna have to bear with me, and I apologize for my voice and if I'm stuffy. But yeah, so for this one I have another 2 that I'm doing, and this first one here was another one that just instantly just drew me in. I loved just the way that everything was set up in this photo. I mean, I guess this piece instead. I don't know why I said photo. This piece. I love the colors a lot. And yeah, I love it. I especially love all the little background elements too. I love it. And the tattoos and everything. It was something that I would never come up with myself. So yeah, I instantly knew that I had to do it because it just looks awesome. So I'm really happy I did. And I really struggled here, as you can kind of already see, with the skin. There was very big, there was a lot of skin showing in this piece, and it looks very streaky. And I don't know how else I'm supposed to do that. And I need to figure it out, because I need to figure out how to put big blocks of color in without making it streaky. I think I heard somewhere that if you do it in circular motions, it's actually better. Maybe I should try that next time, because I obviously did not do that, because you can see the freaking streaks. So it's great. I love it. It's awesome. Luckily, once I'm done though, once the piece is fully finished though, I feel like because of all the shading and stuff, it's actually a lot. I don't know. It doesn't become as noticeable. So it is what it is. But yeah, this one was really fun to do. I had to make sure that I picked the right colors for shading the skin. I recently started, finally, I think, I started adding more purple into adding with shading. And I usually use the exact same purple color for no matter what skin tone it is. And I really like the one I've been using recently. Again, I hope it's very clear on these videos. Please don't follow everything I do, because I don't know what I'm doing half the time. So I really would not suggest doing the same techniques I'm doing, honestly, because I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm just warning people to not always listen to what I do or look at what I do and follow it, because I don't know what I'm doing. And I would honestly suggest people to look at people that understand more than I do, because I don't understand anything. I'm just saying. I mean, if you want to, again, this is just me trying new things all the time, basically. Also, I think I learned my lesson from last time. I don't know if anyone's seen the last video I did, but I have another video of this if you want to go check it out. But last time I made the mistake of layering with a lighter color first for blush and stuff, and this time I decided let's not do that. So I actually, all of the blush and stuff, which I think you would have seen at the beginning of the video, I ended up laying down first, and I think it actually does. I laid down the blush and the lighter colors first, and then I overdid it with the actual skin tone, and I think it turned out a lot better because I did that. So I'm happy I did that instead. This is another one too where I didn't fully... The coloring isn't like exactly the same as the original, which I'm honestly okay with, because I feel like it is the coloring of more of my style. Also, the markers I am using in this video are, I'm using Ohu markers, and then also I have Copics that I also used for this one. So, also I think I might have used a little bit of the Winsor Newton too. But yeah, this one took me a little while. The hands on this one for me, I tried doing the same as theirs, and the hands, they didn't turn out great, but actually they're fine. Actually, my favorite bit, sorry, I can't talk. My favorite thing about this one that I ended up doing actually was the tattoos. I'm really happy with how the tattoos came out in this one. It was actually so much fun to like pencil in, because I decided to use colored pencil first over top of it. That's also the liner, the lines on this one. So I apologize for not recording like a little before. I forgot to record what the liner looks like before I started coloring, so I apologize for that. I do it on the next one. Oh god, that lipstick looks so off. I hope I fixed that. Anyway, but yeah, the tattoos were so fun. And I love it makes me want to do more tattoos, but the problem with doing that, especially on like my characters and stuff, is that means you have to do it every single time you draw them. So that's not always easy, but I love how it looks. I love little details like that so much. I feel like it adds so much personality to a character. I really am happy with how the eyes actually turn on this one too. I did a lot of layering, and I made the eyelashes extra long. So I'm pretty sure in the original too, they have they have very thick eyeliner, I know. And I made sure to shade a lot around the eyes, and I'm really actually happy with how they turned out. And I really like the contrast of everything else on this drawing is very earthy, like there's a lot of earth tones. And then the eye makeup though is very dark. In the shirt too, and I think it contrasts really well, and I really like how that looks actually. And I'm really happy with how all the contrasting colors turned out. It really adds a lot to the piece, I think. And then actually too, I was kind of playing around with the way that the I noticed in the original the way they do the eyes on the character, it's almost like a spiral type of effect. So I tried to do a similar thing, and I think it looks really cool. And it kind of makes me want to try doing that with another, like, more characters of mine that I draw in the future, because I really like how that looks. And then I usually go in with because I usually outline with a lighter color. I think I used a light brown for this one, and I think it was a dark brown. And then usually once I'm towards the end of a drawing, I tend to, with like finishing touches, I tend to go back in with a black colored pencil and outline things again a little bit, so it's usually just facial features like the nose and the edges of the face, just to announce them a little bit more. It's always very nerve-wracking for me to do the eyes on these, because it can really make or break a drawing. And I know it's important too, like, it always looks very weird if the eyes look perfectly symmetrical, actually, because most people don't have very symmetrical, like perfectly symmetrical faces anyway. And whenever you do that, it kind of looks actually a little off. It kind of gives the uncanny valley effect. So it's okay if it's not perfectly symmetrical, but that's still something though, where if it's like completely, like, if two eyes look very different though, it can really make a drawing look very weird. Yeah, and doing this penciling and all the tattoos was very fun. I had a lot of fun doing that. Again, it was very hard though, because I had to be very symmetrical with it, and I am not good at doing that at all. So if you look really close, you'll see they're different, but we don't need to do that. We don't need to look super closely into that, right? We can just look right over it. It's like, I know, like, artists, whenever you draw something, sometimes you'll make like a little mistake, and that one little mistake will just be a glaring thing to you, but for probably a lot of other people, and no one else will probably even notice. I know that's a thing. I'll make one little mistake on something and it just pops right out, but for other people, most of the time they probably won't even recognize it. So I need to stop worrying about little things like that. I probably I was being kind of reckless, and I just went straight in too with the colored pencil. I didn't like outline it first, but you know what? I think it turned out fine. It turned out okay. I really love just all the little details of the. I keep saying this, but it's so satisfying to me to look at. It really does make me want to draw more tattoos and stuff on characters, because it really adds a lot of personality there. And then I decided for a while there, I wasn't actually gonna even color the tattoos in, but I realized it looked kind of plain and off if I didn't, so I kind of like pick and chose certain ones to color in. Also, I mean, in the original, they were also colored in. This was very satisfying to color in also. I'm sure it's kind of obvious, but I ended up changing actually the way I did the bottom of this drawing compared to the original. I didn't want to make the shirt go all the way down to the end of, that would look really weird if it went all the way down to the end of the page. So I kind of just like flared it out, I guess. I don't know how to say that, with the marker, because this marker was already dying, so it was actually kind of easy to do it with that. And I kind of made it have more of like a billowing out effect, because I didn't really know else, because I didn't want to like do circular motions to the end like the original. It's hard to do that if you use a marker, because the original is digital, so I'm sure they used a specific tool for that. So I decided to just kind of billow it out at the end. And I decided not to go around the arms too, because I thought that would look kind of weird with using a marker. So instead I kind of just left the arms. I cut them off purposely. And I think it works too, because it's more of a bust drawing anyway. So I think the cutoff actually works fine. It doesn't look too weird. I'm really happy with how the drawing was positioned too. I think I actually got it in a really good position on the page, so it's pretty centered fairly well, which something I'm usually really bad at. I'm very bad with like space awareness and stuff. I need to work on that. So I'm pretty happy with it. And yeah, the hands look kind of weird. I feel like I should have actually outlined them a little bit better, because they're kind of blending in a little bit too much with the skin. Oh, I guess adding the nails though, I think actually does help differentiate them a little bit. So I guess that's good. Yeah, that's something I actually added onto mine. The original one, I think they have nails, but they're not, I think they're just the same color of the skin. So yeah. And then lastly, I just decided to very lightly color the little background elements. And then this one was done. Yeah, I really like how this one turned out, and I absolutely love the background. I love the moon phases and everything. It looks freaking awesome. Go check out this artist, please. They're amazing. For this last one, I really was searching to try to get find one that was a male, and it was actually really hard to find one that I liked, because I just went on Instagram and I like looked up like different accounts that were doing the Draw Your Style challenge, and they just linked a whole bunch of different ones that people did, and there was a lot of people mainly just do women, but I wanted to try to do a man one because I did all women in the previous one, so I eventually found this one and I really liked it a lot. And it's also very just different. I think these two that I did are definitely a lot more different from my style compared to the first two ones I did. So this one I really like too because it's just very different stylistically, and it's something I would never draw myself. And I really liked it, and the colors, and especially the hair, and also I liked the pose. So those were the reasons why I decided to choose this one. And also it's in more of like the anime style, which I am familiar with because I used to do more of an anime style, as I'm sure a lot of artists did. And so yeah, that's why I definitely decided I wanted to try to do this one. And this one too, the colors end up turning out the most different compared to the other ones. Like the colors, I ended up specifically choosing different colors. And the skin turned out kind of weird. I was kind of struggling with it. He ends up not as pale as the original, but it's fine. It's okay. This is me trying to figure out how the frick to color skin. I still don't know what I'm doing. I just shade specific parts and hope it turns out right. That's what I do every time. Trial and error. Again, I know I keep saying this, but just don't follow what I do. Again, I am very much a self-taught artist. I've had a little bit of like teachings for myself, but I'm very much a self-taught artist, and it's all just trial and error for me. And I try to learn from my mistakes. I try to learn from my mistakes, which I would recommend everyone does that. That's the only thing I'll recommend. I'm never gonna like try to tell anyone what you think you should do, because I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, this game was really fun to do on this one. Recently, I've been trying to do this technique when I'm shading, to purposely leave some bits not as perfectly blended in as others. It gives like a hard edge to it. You can kind of see it at the bottom of the chin there, and I really like how that looks, so I've been doing that more. And then this part of the skin was also very interesting, and it was actually a really, really good exercise for me to try doing the neck and the collarbones. Sorry, I forgot what they were called for a second. Trying to do all that was really good practice actually for me, but also trying to leave highlights too in specific areas, which I kind of wish I did a little bit better. I accidentally, I think, went over some areas a little bit too much, and I kind of wish I added a little bit more highlights and left some areas a little bit brighter. But I'm very happy, and this one just took a lot of layering. Also, the colors I was using to shade with were a lot darker than the skin tone, so that was kind of hard to blend in, so I had to shade a lot for it to look better. I don't know why, but coloring in the lips are always extremely satisfying to me. And then this is where the coloring for the hair was a very interesting process, and it took me a while because I decided I wanted the hair to actually be a different color compared to the original, and I decided to make it more of a pink, and then it kind of goes into more of a dark, like a lighter brown. And I did that because I thought it matched the ears a little bit, because the ears, also I didn't want to make the hair super dark because I thought it would clash too much with his robe that he's wearing. So I purposely made his hair actually a little bit lighter, and I distinguished it a little bit more because I didn't want his hair to blend in with the robe too much. So I purposely did that. I think I made his hair a little bit wavier and curlier compared to the original, which I tend to do on accident. I'm really bad at just drawing straight hair, which I should do more because I like how straight hair looks, And it has a really cool, like, effect and look to it, too. I don't know, though. I tend to usually go for the more curly hair, I guess. But the hair was really, really fun to shade, and adding, like, individual strands and stuff. I also tried to make more of an effect of there being shading towards the middle, so it looks like his hair is being pulled back. That was also, again, this was all just me trying to play around and figuring out what I was doing. I added a little bit of like a shadow underneath where his ears are. It kind of looks like they're more buried into his hair. But I don't know if it came out that way. I tried. Something else I wanted to say too, for future videos, I have a lot of stuff that I've been planning out and working on, and I'm very excited. I want to try to start posting more often. I would like to try posting at least once a week. I'm thinking more like Fridays or Saturdays. But yeah, and saying that, it's good actually, because it will make me be more motivated to actually do it. I won't always promise there's going to be videos out, but I want to try to post more often because, yeah, I'm having a lot of fun and I want to do more stuff. I'd also gladly take any recommendations people might have too of videos you would be interested in seeing or things you'd like to see in the future. And I would gladly, take any recommendations or advice or anything like that you guys want to give, because I would greatly appreciate it. Any sort of feedback that you might have or things you'd like to see. This part was really interesting because I had no idea what I was doing. So I was trying to give, again, the effect of, it's being put into a bun. And I was trying to figure out how the hair would sit in a bun, and also how, by using shading, how it would be pulled into it and fall back. So that was an interesting challenge I had to figure out. But I think it's pretty convincing. I hope it is, at least. I think I figured it out over time, the shading in the process of it. I really like the colors I actually used for the hair a lot. It looks almost more red in like a brown, so I'm really happy with that. And it was a lot of fun. I do kind of wish though that you don't see it yet, but whenever I color the earring there, I think I could have done a little bit better with coloring it. I kind of got lazy on that part, I'm not gonna lie, and I think I could have done better. I also think I could have made it stand out a little bit better than it actually does. I probably could have added highlights and stuff to it, and I did not. So I kind of regret not doing that, but it is what it is. Yeah, here I did not know what I was doing, I'm not gonna lie. I was just kind of laying down bits where I could shade it, where it's bending and stuff, where it looks like there might be shadow. I don't know. And also, I don't think it really makes sense the way the hair is falling down on his shoulders, but it's fine. This is also difficult because I realized I had to color this in afterwards, and I didn't want to mess with the hair, so I had to go back in with color pencil and fix some of it because it looked awkward with it being perfectly cut off where the hair in the robe is. I had to fix that, but I don't think it ended up being a problem. And this one too, I decided on rounding out the edges instead of just doing a direct, it looks better, I think, actually, directly cut than, it being flared out at the end, like on the last one that I did. I really had a lot of fun on this one. Just the coloring was like very satisfying, especially right here. These are all colors I don't tend to use as much, so you can tell how nice and new the markers are, and it's really satisfying to watch. You'll see a little bit later on, but the greens in this one end up being a little bit more diluted compared to the original, which I don't know. I'm trying to I don't know if I like it or not. The greens are quite bright in the other one, and I end up actually making the eyes. I think I end up making the eyes the exact same color as I do the ears, the green on the ears. Because I like there being, I don't know, it makes it more. It concludes the piece a little bit better, I think, whenever there's similar colors, because the green it's the only green compared to the flowers. I know I also incorporated it also on his robe as well, just to make it kind of work together more as a color palette, I think. And I tend to do that with the eyes to, again, just make it come together a little bit better, I think, and not it just stand out of nowhere. And I tried to make it so that in the ears, because in the ears there's almost like flowers coming out, which I love, by the way. I think that's so cool. And so I tried to shade and add layers of it so it looked more like flowers coming out of his ears. And also, I was really surprised that this pencil ended up actually being so, because I forgot to. Originally, I was just going to color in with marker, but then I realized that I forgot, and I just went over it with marker anyway, so I had to go back in with colored pencil, and I'm actually really happy with how it looks. I was afraid it wasn't going to be pigmented enough, but it actually really stands out well. And it was really fun and satisfying to do, actually, and I really like the effect it has, actually. I just want to say thank you, everyone, so much for watching this whole video. It's another really long one, so thank you if you're still here. If you're not, don't blame you. But if you are, thank you so much for watching this. If anyone's interested, I have an Instagram and a TikTok, so if you want to check out those, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. I don't blame you. Thank you, everyone, so much for watching. I'm gonna try to be making more stuff soon here, so if you're interested, watch out for it. And yeah, I hope everyone has an amazing day or night or evening or morning or whatever time it is, and goodbye.